Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremiah Wonders is brought to you by Sheath Underwear.
That's right, Sheath Underwear.
That's right, Sheath Underwear.
What makes Sheath Underwear different? Simple. Sheath Underwear has a special 2-pouch compartment that keeps your wiener and nutsies from sticking to your inner thigh.
That's it. That's the idea, and it's brilliant. It feels like I'm having sex with my underwear every time I put them on, and I'm into it. And if you're going too fast, okay. And that's it. I'm not. I can't read it.
And I'm into that. No, you're doing it. And I'm into that.
Okay.
And if I'm not, I say sorry. I'm not in the mood.
I'm not in the mood. And if I leave them out
of the pouch,
so
fresh either way.
Either way, Sheath Underwear is made from the super comfortable blend of modal and spandex that stretches as you move and
keeps you cool and dry. No bunching.
No pinching or saging. Sheath Underwear cradles your junk like a mama gorilla holding her precious newborn baby.
You know how Blade is half human and half vampire, Steve? So he gets the best of both worlds?
Well, Sheath is like that. Only it's a combination of boxer briefs and jock strap.
All of their powers, none of their weaknesses is what my pal Steve is trying to say.
The idea of Sheath came from its founder, U.S. Army soldier Robert Patton during his second tour in Iraq. If it works in the sun-blasted deserts of Iraq, you'll know it'll work wherever you live.
Support this awesome veteran-owned indie company whose founder is actually a fan
of Jeremiah Wonders.
That's pretty cool, Steve. Go to sheathunderwear.com and order with promo code SAX, S-A-X, to get 20% off your first order, and Sheath's Underwear 100% money back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com, promo code
SAX, S-A-X.
Support this show by supporting them. Get Sheath Underwear and let them support your balls.
Hey guys, welcome back to Jeremiah Wonders with my new pal, Barbara Dunkelman from Rooster Teeth. We had an awesome conversation, some great riffs, and I think that you will really dig this episode. Please leave a like or a comment below, or maybe hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification if you haven't done so yet. I have a new special coming out, my debut 1-hour special on December 8th on Amazon Prime, Video on Demand, a lot of other platforms. It would help me out a lot if you go to my website, jeremiahwatkins.com, and pre-order it now. It helps with placement for the banner, promotion, and different things on different platforms. Thank you guys so much for your support. And without further ado, please welcome Barbara Dunkelman to Jeremiah Wonders. Very special guest on Jeremiah Wonders today. Welcome, Barbara Dunkelman, to the show.
Is this where you put like the strobe lights in, right?
This is where like all the craziness happens, and we're like,
oh no, Barbara's on the show right now.
Yo! Am I allowed to swear on your show?
You can do whatever you want.
Holy fuck, that was cool, dude. I feel like I'm slightly advanced in the technology, what I got going. I don't have like any sound mixers or anything like that.
I definitely waited for this as a surprise to show you on the show, because I didn't want to be like, hey, Barbara, nice to meet you 2 seconds ago. This is my normal speaking voice.
Wow, but yeah, that would have been throw me for a loop.
Yeah, you're like, what, is something wrong with your audio? It's like,
no, this is just how I talk. I don't really know.
I just hit puberty 5 minutes ago. Yeah, who'd have thunk it?
I'm stuck in Talk Boy from Home Alone voice, so, you know.
Or maybe your corpse husband, or whoever that guy is who's blown up on YouTube lately.
Yeah, and it's so funny, like how many trends there are with TikTok and like YouTube. It's hard to keep track of all of them. Like the dog face guy. I follow him now, like on Instagram. Do you know who that is? The guy with the cranberry juice who rode his skateboard.
Yes.
That guy. He bought a house from that. Like his life is. He was just a random dude who's just like vibing one day, and he's like, I'm gonna film me on a skateboard, and then like he got a car, he got a house, like he does videos with Snoop Dogg and all these rappers now. It's crazy.
I wonder what that guy says when people ask him what he does for a living.
Yeah, it's like what do you say? What do you even say?
I made a video one time of me just riding my skateboard, drinking cranberry juice, and now I have a house.
I'm a viber, homie. That's what I do. That's what I do full time.
That should be a 2020 profession, I think.
I think so. I mean, what's the weirdest thing that you've done in 2020? Because this has been such a bizarre year. One of the things that I did that was infuriating, my wife and I, we bought a puzzle because, that was a trend for a bit. Everybody went through their puzzle phase. And no joke, we got down to the last piece and they did not send the last piece of the puzzle. And that was 2020 in a nutshell for me. It was nowhere. It wasn't like, we literally only put the pieces back in the box every night. We looked our entire place, could not find it. They did not ship it in the box.
Well, Jeremiah, I hate to tell you, I've had the piece this whole time.
Wait, what? What's going on? Oh no!
I am way too easy of a laugh. You do any sound effect and I'm just like, oh yeah, do it again!
Don't encourage me. There's way more that we'll get to later on.
Can't wait.
Is there anything like bizarre that you found yourself doing in 2020 that you maybe haven't done any other year, or just like a new hobby or anything that you picked up?
I guess my new hobby in 2020 would be depression.
Okay, yeah. And how's that going? Is that good?
Man, I'm really into it. It's great.
I've never committed to anything like this. Yeah, I think I'm getting pretty good. Pretty good at it. Yeah.
But no, like just like everyone else, it's like, oh, maybe I'll try cooking more. Didn't work. We order out all the time.
Now you live with your boyfriend, right? Or
yes.
Yes. And how's that been in quarantine? Because that's affected every couple's. I mean, I know a lot of people who grew a lot closer together than I know a lot of splits that happened up.
Yeah. It has definitely only solidified the fact that we are right for each other.
Isn't that nice?
Yes. It's I've thought back to previous relationships I've been in and have thought, I don't think I would have survived quarantine with this person.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
At all.
I ended up, I'm one of the people who decided it was a good idea with my wife. We have a baby on the way now. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Congratulations.
I wish I could send you the effects through your side so we could, if you're in LA sometime, I have a couple of these that I usually have with my guests where we get to play around and just be silly with the different voices and stuff.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Yeah. But I like your work on Rooster Teeth, obviously. So I reached out and just wanted to do an interesting collab, which it's funny. Some of the comments on Twitter and stuff are like, how are these worlds fusing right now? Just
they're
because
colliding.
I know it's just cool. It's just a cool mashup of, we both do different podcasts and different video internet things that we do. How many shows are you currently doing at Rooster Teeth? Because I know you've done so many, like whether it's been animation, like the dating and relationship stuff, some of the stuff with John, different.
Yeah, we do all types of stuff. Number of shows. Gosh, I do the Rooster Teeth podcast every week. I record gameplay content. We do live streams on our site every week. Other podcasts that I guest on from time to time within the company, I do Ruby and other animated shows.
Yeah.
So kind of have my toe dipped in every little pocket of Rooster Teeth.
That's kind of how I try to be, at least in the LA comedy scene. I'm involved in like a lot of different projects and stuff like that, and I think that was one of the reasons why I connected with you. I was like, I like how she's kind of like immersed in a lot of different things, because I don't like to stick to just one thing. It's more fun to just kind of, do this a little bit, do a little bit of that.
It's good and bad because it feels like you have experience in so many things and you get experience doing so many different types of things and like really challenging yourself. But then it's also hard to explain your job to somebody. You're like, oh, well, I host podcasts, but I also creative direct and also do this and voice act. And it's just, yeah,
the business card starts to look a little obnoxious after a point. Like you list all the stuff, you're like when I first moved to LA, my business cards were it was so gross. It was like comedian, actor, voice character, like character, like work, improv, sketch. Barf. It was so gross, and it had my home address on it. I don't know why I did that. Like when I was like, if they want to get a hold of me, I really want somebody to really get in there.
Over.
Just come on over. Just cast me. Literally, there's a casting couch right over there.
Just come over. We'll feed you dinner, and then you'll hire me. It'll be great.
Yeah, just a home cooked Kansas meal.
Yeah.
Are you originally from Texas?
No, so I moved to Austin in December of 2011. So that would have been, I guess we're coming up on 9 years.
Okay.
But I'm originally from Montreal, Canada.
Oh, that's awesome. I usually go to Just for Laughs in Montreal every year.
Oh, shit. Yeah, dude.
So I love that festival. I deeply missed it this year. So, 'cause that's usually where I go for like almost a week to do different shows. Like I'm involved with a handful of different things where we'll go out for this and a little bit of podcasting, a little bit of that. And yeah, it's a super fun festival. So I love Montreal.
Montreal's a fun place. Yeah, it's oddly very similar to Austin. They're
Really?
both very young, eclectic college towns.
Okay.
One is French, one is not.
Do you
but,
speak any
they're-
French? Did you pick up any French?
Yeah, a little bit, like enough to kind of get by, but not enough to get a full-time job.
Right.
You know, like because most places you have to be like perfectly bilingual, and I'm like, I could say like, where's the bathroom?
Yeah.
And you know, I could tell you the time, but that's about it.
That's how I am for my Spanish. Like I'm like I can act like if you give me the lines like in Spanish, like I can nail the accent and the dialect and everything, but like holding like an actual conversation with a native, like I just can't do that. It's
a
so
whole
fast.
nother
I'm like
level.
I start freaking out.
You just like smile and nod. You're like,
Yeah. And then you realize like,
Oui.
you're like, that's exactly what they do to English speakers when you're like, hey, how's it going? They're like, yeah.
7:30.
Yes. Yeah, there's obviously one of the first times I went to Canada, poutine was introduced. It blew my mind. Do you have any poutine places that you are like gotta go get this when you're in
Absolutely.
Montreal?
Yes. So Montreal, the place to go for poutine, I think a lot of people would agree, is La Banquise. It's a very popular poutine place in Montreal that constantly has a line out the door and around the corner. And they serve like regular poutine, but they also do like 60 different types where you can get like smoked meat or like brisket or sausage or sour cream, like all these different ingredients on your poutine, which sound disgusting, but if you get the right pairing, oh, delicious.
Have you eaten at Moisha's in Montreal?
Probably.
It's really good. It's like a
Yeah.
steakhouse, and they have amazing pickles there.
Yes.
Like phenomenal pickles.
I think of, whenever someone says Moisha's, I also think of Schwartz's, which is another very popular Montreal smoked meat place.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah, the smoked
again,
meet. They
delicious.
do it right. They do it right. I'm from Kansas, so I'm very, we have our barbecue and stuff like that. And, I'm sure you get your fill of barbecue now that you live in Austin and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You're like, I got that. I only got that covered.
I put on the Texas 15 when I moved here of just pure barbecue.
I think you have to. I think it's anytime I go and do shows for like a week in Texas, I'm like, well, I'm going to be coming back with some extra weight on me. That's happening
Yeah.
for sure.
Everything truly is bigger in Texas.
Yes.
That was something I was very surprised by when I first moved here. Like the first restaurant I got taken to, I got a plate that was like this big and most of it was cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to like it here.
Right. Yeah. Do I make this into like a cheese wine? Like, what are we doing with this right here?
So I
It's
just
like, no, man, you from the trough, just put your head down. Yeah, exactly. So you hosted a show. It was a dating and relationship advice show for a while. What would you say is like one of the stories that have stood out to you, that have stuck with you, that you might think about, like that will come back to you every once in a while? Because as a stand-up, sometimes I'll like, if somebody says a city or something to me, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of this audience member, or this happened. Did anything happen like that, like along the way of hosting that show, where you're like, who are these people that are needing advice on this?
Oh my God. Yeah, I did that show for about 4 years. And gosh, every single episode had something that made me just crack up or like die of embarrassment from hearing, just secondhand embarrassment. But one of my favorite stories was actually from my friend Miles, who was on the show. And it was his story about his first blowjob. And I won't go into too much detail, but basically it ended up with the girl handcuffing him to the bed while she played like heavy metal screamo music in the background. And I'm just imagining that being like the most intense first blowjob story of all time. She's like, no, holy shit.
What's happening right now?
Yeah. Being like some like teenage boy with all that going
This is
through.
really awkward, but Miles is actually calling into the show right now.
Hey, Miles. Didn't mean to out you like that, but
Hello, Barbara?
you sound just like him.
I sound just like him, right?
Yeah.
I sound like me. It's Miles.
Hey, Miles.
Hey, I don't really like you air my dirty laundry like you did.
I mean, to be fair, you did air your dirty laundry on my show.
Yeah, but it was my laundry to air. It wasn't like a second wash or second drying or anything like that. You kind of just put it back out on the clothespins in front of the neighbors.
Well, now it's clean. Now it's clean laundry, Miles. What do you want?
There's stains all over it. I told you the story. It was a mess.
Gross.
Oh, gotta go.
Okay, we lost Miles. I don't know what happened, but that was.
Man,
he sounds a little different right now. I don't know what's going on, but it might be the connection of the podcast.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's these Zooms, you know, they're kind of fickle at times. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, he was using a landline, which was really strange.
Yeah. Why?
2020.
Yeah, it's very weird that the connection wouldn't have been a little bit more clear. I mean, he works at Rooster Teeth. They think. You think that they provide you guys like you've got a great mic, but Miles, for whatever reason, still landline, rotary phone.
We're owned by AT&T too, so you'd think he'd have a good phone.
I don't know what's going on with that. What shows have you been getting into lately through like Netflix or anything like what what have you been doing with your boyfriend rather to pass the time?
I've been handcuffing him to the bed and we've been playing heavy metal.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we've been watching a lot of new shows, a lot of movies, playing some video games, kind of just anything to keep us occupied. But we binged through The Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
My wife loves that show. Yeah.
It was just such a random pick because we saw it just on Netflix and I was like, this looks interesting. Let's give it a shot. I knew nothing about it and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I've heard nothing but good things about that show.
Yeah, it made me want to become a chess player and marry Anna Taylor-Joy. So, you know. Have
you ever played chess before?
As a child, my dad really liked chess.
It's a dad game for sure. It's a dad game. Like, I'm going to teach you some wisdom right now.
Mm-hmm. And then he plays chess on his computer against a robot all the time.
Okay.
And so I wonder if he'd be interested in that show. I should tell him about it, actually.
He'll probably love it. I went back over the holidays, like last Christmas, back to Kansas, and my dad and I played multiple games of chess, and I felt bad because he used to beat me every single time at chess, and I beat him pretty much every single time, and I think it really got to my dad, like underneath his skin, like, oh, I just made one wrong move, and you really capitalized on it. Just
really shows how well I taught you.
Yeah,
I'm a good dad.
No, it's just fine. I'm proud that you're smart now. That's fine. Yeah.
Is your dad in the room? That's so strange.
Yeah, I don't know. Is my dad calling into the show right now?
I think I actually hear the ring of the phone.
Oh, okay.
Hello, is this Barbara?
Yes, it is, Mr. Watkins.
Dad, why are you called in to talk to Barbara? That's kind of weird.
Oh, no, I heard that she, was thinking about picking up chess with her dad. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Now, Barbara, do you play racquetball?
I do not, sir. But I'm sure it would be very fun.
Okay. If you ever come to Kansas, I'd love to play you in racquetball or maybe some pool. My son Jeremiah, he keeps beating me at this stuff, and it's infuriating me. So I'd like to teach somebody else that I can maybe beat now.
Well, don't worry. I'm very unathletic, so I will be poor at every sport, and you will definitely beat me.
All right. Well, how's your boyfriend doing? I'm a Rooster Teeth follower.
Dad, we gotta let you go. It's getting a little bit weird.
All right. Well, you two kids have fun on your little sketch or whatever you're saying.
Sketch.
A sketch? All right. We lost my dad. I don't know.
That's a great word, though.
A sketch?
I think he's onto something.
Yeah, a skit and a sketch blended together. It's for people who don't know what, podcasts and stuff are. I still have tried to explain to my mom, like, what
a podcast is.
It still doesn't register. I guess for some people, for people who are immersed in it, like we are, it's just kind of a way of life where it's easy to put on in cars. It's easy to find it on YouTube and all that stuff. But for people who are not they're like, what is this? Like
people who still do the crosswords in the newspapers.
Oh yeah.
This is entertainment? What do you guys talk about?
Are you a Sudoku kind of girl? You ever play Sudoku?
Oh, hell yeah. And it makes my mom so angry when I take up all the Sudokus when I visit home and do them all in the newspaper, because she's one of those people who uses all the games in the newspapers, and so when I take the Sudoku, it's no go.
See, that's like the inverse of my relationship with my dad. Your mom is being competitive with you. She's like, let me just have my Sudokus, okay, Barbara?
I'm never inviting you back home ever again.
I guess not. Is your mom calling in to the show right now?
Is she? I think so. I
don't know.
I hear her.
Hello? Barbara?
Oh, hi, Mom.
Barbara, how are you?
I'm great. Mom, you're so different.
It must be the AT&T connection.
Oh, it may be, yeah. You have AT&T in Canada?
Oh, yeah. Have been long-term customers, yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that you were off your Bell Canada plan.
Oh, well, Rooster, your people over at Rooster Teeth, they sent me a little Christmas present.
Are you winking into the phone, Mom?
Did you hear? I have very loud winks.
Yeah, it's very watery.
Sorry if there's a little drip that's getting on the phone right now. It's just, sorry, okay. Nope, that's poutine just coming right on my tear ducts. Yeah, I've been really going to town with your father. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you go back to your Sudoku, Mom.
I've been going to town with the poutine, not the actual town with your... we were in town early. We didn't go at the town. This is getting real hard for me. Not hard for your father. This is just getting upsetting. I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to hang up on you, Mom.
Okay, I gotta go.
Well, anybody can call into this show, and that's part of the craziness.
I didn't know she had your number.
Yeah, I'm really connected with your family. Yeah. Yeah, I've actually, we just met a little while ago before we started recording. But yeah.
That's something you do with all your guests, right? You get to know their family first before you do the podcast.
That's how I incept people into becoming guests on the show. I meet their family and they're like, he's a nice guy. We're gonna refer him secretly in the emails and just put little Post-its around the house and in different phone calls and FaceTimes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are your parents FaceTimers? Do they do that? Are they with it enough to FaceTime?
Yeah, luckily my parents are actually very technologically savvy.
Yeah.
My dad has worked in telecommunications. He develops apps now just for fun. They're both retired. And then my mom was a programmer for a university.
Oh yeah, so they get it. They'll be proficient the rest of their lives just because that's part of their livelihood.
Thank goodness, my man, because having to explain anything to my parents would be a nightmare.
So my dad is a little bit better than my mom is now. He's gotten a grasp of FaceTime. But my mom, she still has it incepted in her brain from years ago. Like, remember when 10 years ago when flip phones just started maybe getting some video? Maybe it wasn't even that long ago, to be honest. It might have been more like 8 years ago, whatever. But it was like kind of pixelated.
Feels like a long time ago.
It feels like a long time ago, right? It was kind of pixelated and really grainy, and it would be easily distorted whenever you would, video call. And I remember calling my mom, being like, "Look at this technology." She's like, "This is scary. I don't like this. You're all distorted. You don't look like my son. Let's go back to phone calls."
Someone's taken over your body.
Yeah, she was worried. I was like, "Mom,
seriously, I don't know, I promise it should be coming out perfect on your
end.
I don't know what's happening."
Whoa, I think I heard Miles for a second there again.
Did you? Maybe he was trying to call in.
Strange.
It was weird.
I don't know if he was. I think we talked to him.
I think we did too. I think I'll ignore that call this time.
Yeah.
That's the nicest way, by the way. That's the nicest way. Like, we're getting to know each other. Of you being like, "I think that bit's done, Jeremiah."
I think we've heard enough of him.
I think we're okay with moving on to the next part of the podcast. Now, I asked you before we started the show if this is a question that I ask anytime I have somebody who is a performer or more in the podcast world, if they have wigs. Were you able to find any wigs?
I found 3 wigs.
Ooh.
They're all just standard lady wigs.
That's okay.
One's kind of a redhead, one's kind of like a brownish red, and one's a blonde. I don't know why I have a blonde wig when I'm blonde, but here we are.
Okay. Well, let's do this first one. This is a suggestion actually from Twitter, and we'll do this next segment. It's called Wig.
Wig. What a great name for a segment.
You know, sometimes you have to just tell people exactly what they're about to expect. You don't beat around the bush. You just tell them right to their face, like, we're about to put on some wigs and we're gonna be playing around. Okay. This one comes. This suggestion comes from Jared Monster on Twitter. They said, scene suggestion: Princess Peach asks Mario for a divorce.
So I'm guessing I'll be Princess Peach.
You will be Princess Peach. That's actually a great Princess Peach wig.
A great wig.
And let me see what I got here.
It's a me. Are Princess Peach and Mario even married?
I think that
canonically,
this is like maybe a fan. Like they assumed this is the direction that they went in with their relationship. You know.
Okay.
But I don't know if I've ever, like in the actual video games and stuff, I don't know if they actually ever ended up happily ever after, because she keeps ending up in different castles and stuff.
The princess is in another castle.
Right?
Fucking Luigi. Jesus Christ. So the wig on your part is the wig on your face.
Pretty much. That's my part. I have, this is my face wig that I'm wearing right now.
Of course.
You actually look like a great Princess Peach. I think we should just get right into this.
Yeah.
Right into that. Oh, what seems to be the problem, Princess Peach?
Mario, I've been looking at your phone, and I saw some really concerning texts.
Whoa, what did you see?
I saw Diddy Kong messaging you late last night, calling you baby, calling you honey. What's that all about?
Whoa, no, he's just a friend. I say he's just a friend.
I know you're lying when you add a lot of whoa.
No, I promise, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I saw a picture of his nether regions. Why was he sending you that?
You saw his Dickie Kong? Woohoo! Yahoo!
I sure did, and it's something I wish I could scrub from my memory forever.
I'm sorry, we haven't been connecting in the bedroom lately. I had to seek other places.
Mario, I'm not happy. I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy in our relationship. It's over.
I've saved you from every castle and every kingdom around the world. How can it just be over lickety-split like that? Oh, wow.
It's already done. I've already called Bowser and he's on his way here.
You're leaving me for Bowser?
Yeah, he's like double the size of you in every way, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, no.
Go have fun with Diddy.
Well, maybe if you would have diddied me a little bit in the bedroom, then we wouldn't be in this predicament.
You're right. I should have diddied you more. But you always fell asleep at 7 p.m. What was I supposed to do?
I'm a plumber. I have to wake up early in the morning.
And I'm a princess. I need to not do work ever.
I always forget you're a princess, and I have to treat you more like one. I apologize. I've been treating you like a common street hooker.
You know what? That's good enough for me. All is forgiven.
Really?
Oh,
Yahoo! Oh my goodness.
That's not how Peach sounds whatsoever, and I recognize that.
Mine was a very, very loose Mario, but people get it. And I think
it's 1 for 1.
And I think Pete, that was a close enough Peach. That's not like crazy far off from Peach.
thank you.
It's like that's like video game voice. You know what I mean? Like female video game voice is kind of, it covers a lot of bases when you're like, oh yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yep, see you later, mister.
I gotcha.
Yeah, just
Peach has got it.
Peach has got it. That was fun.
Doink.
That was,
Great prompt.
I mean, it was a great prompt. Sometimes with the wig segment, it's we have to kind of figure it out ourselves, but that person was nice enough to just lay out the exact suggestion that they wanted, and I happen to have the Mario hat, in my costume bin, and it just kind of worked, and you had the perfect peach blonde wig.
Apparently it was meant to be, I guess.
I guess it was meant to be. Well,
I also don't know why Diddy Kong was the first Nintendo character I came. Like, there's other princesses. There's other characters.
Well, that's what kind of, for me, it almost broke me because I was like, that is very specific that he had a homosexual adventure with a monkey out of all the other princes.
But not even Donkey Kong. Diddy Kong.
I know, the little guy.
Little guy. I think it's because I played a lot of Diddy Kong Racing as a kid, and so like for some reason when I think of Peach and Mario, I think of Diddy Kong Racing.
What do you have a favorite Donkey Kong Country game? Did you play any of those?
I got more into like Zelda and those kinds of games. I also really like the Mario Party games. Mario Party 2
Party
was, like,
was so
still
fun.
one of my favorites.
That was one of those games where you could have whatever friend over. That was just one of those, like that and Smash Brothers and like some of like GoldenEye, like some of those different games, like where it was like we're spending the next 6 hours not moving from here, only to go to the restroom to go pee, come back. Maybe mom will drop off some snacks or something, and then we're just gonna keep playing the entire time. It was the best.
Well, you knew it was bad if someone was like, "Let's do the 50-turn version of this game," and you're like, "Oh, so you want to play this for 6 hours?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you want a video game version of Monopoly? Okay, great.
Great.
This
or
is-
Risk.
Yeah, this is never gonna end. Did you ever get the sores from the joystick from spinning?
That was Mario Party 1, and I remember distinctly because when Mario Party 2 came out and they got rid of those games with the joystick
Because I
turning.
think so many kids started getting literally hurt because we would just like be going like this. But I mean,
I think they sold gloves for it. I think there was like a whole market for those like injuries that people would get playing that game.
what's that? I
I could be making that up.
don't know if you remember this movie. I think it's a Fred Savage movie. Like with the Power Glove. The Nintendo Power Glove, where he goes to compete in a tournament. It's like an 80s film. Ooh.
Yeah. Now I gotta.
I might have to
Don't you
look.
love it when that window just pops up and you could see the reflection on someone's face as they Google?
Yeah, right?
Who was it again? You said.
I think it's Fred Savage. I think we're both going to find this right now.
Let's see. The Wizard?
Yep. Wizard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1989, the year I was born.
There you go. I'm an 88 guy.
Oh, sheet.
Oh, yep.
You old man.
I know. Well, Barbara, if there's anything that I've learned in my extra year of life over you, I'd just like to share it with you right now. Well, I learned that, when the guys, this did nothing for when we were playing this with the joysticks. But what I have learned, the girls, if they use their two fingers, they got very good at using a circular motion for something else later down the road.
Oh, yes. Can confirm. Girls who played Mario Party 1 know where it's at.
They know how to masturbate, just straight
absolutely.
up. That's just, they know how to do it.
They get off.
Yeah,
that's great.
I mean, that's like the bonus round, like the unlocked levels in Mario Party 1. It's like, I don't remember this.
There's also, I remember specifically a game that I won every time. I was really good at it. I think it was the one where you have to crank up the things and then you see how far it could go, and you had to hit A and B at the same time on your controller.
Yeah.
I was so good at that.
I
made my fingers stiff and I was like...
Oh, no, yeah. We had little kid arthritis when we played that game where our fingers would lock. It's like, I can't move my fingers anymore. Just like
but it's
bleeding.
an advantage.
But it was so much fun. It's just, I thought like eventually like we would evolve, like maybe we will down the line, like people will get like better dexterity in their fingers and stuff because we're on our phones so much all the time. They say little kids and toddlers actually with the iPads and stuff, it's something about with the way their brain works that they're easier to learn for them, like to be able to touch stuff rather than to write it down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Something also that blew my mind was, let's say you're doing like an improv scene and you're calling someone on the phone. What would you do?
I would do this just because
You do this?
I would do this.
No,
a lot of
like
people do
this.
this, but I would do this
Now-
just, yeah.
Apparently kids go like this because they're used to having an iPhone, like this rectangular thing. like this.
Wow.
Like they're on the phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's such a weird generational gap.
That
right
is
there.
weird. Well, it's like just like in the improv scenes which it doesn't exist anymore. The roll down windows of the car.
Yeah. What are you doing?
It's like, what is that
They're
person doing? Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, how would you tell someone nowadays to roll down their window if they're like under the age of 25?
But I still think the universal police signal for roll down your window is like roll down your window.
Or
is it get down? Hey, can you do one of these? It's like this guy an improviser or a cop? What's going on? It's
both.
like,
And improviser in his spare time, cop in his regular.
Hey, could I get a suggestion? Let me off? No, thank you.
No and.
No and actually. Did you have any improv training like in Montreal, or did you do any like improv classes back in the day or anything like that?
Not at all. So I actually went to school for marketing. I had no intention of doing any type of performance stuff or entertainment or anything like that. But then things worked out with Rooster Teeth, and I ended up doing podcasts and a bunch of stuff on camera. And then it was actually about 3 years ago that a few people at the company were like, we want to sign you guys up for improv lessons because we do so much performance that improv is actually really handy for a lot of reasons. Even doing podcasts and being a good listener, improv really helps with that. So we actually did a round of improv lessons for, I want to say like 4 or 5 months back in 2017.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Well, you guys,
I thought I would hate it.
Oh yeah. But you got into it like because I feel like it's sometimes as an adult, like there is pushback if you, just because you have to be so silly, they want you to be silly. And if you're not used to that, you're like, why am I doing these games and all that stuff?
Yeah, luckily it was with a group of people at Rooster Teeth, so we're already used to being really immature and silly, and we all like knew each other. I think it's honestly more nerve-wracking doing improv with people you know versus people you don't, because you feel like it's a little more intimate in a way and more exposing to people
because
you're
seeing a different side of them, and you're seeing your friends, and you're worried about failing in a different way. When I perform for strangers for stand-up, it's always easier than if I have to do a hometown show or something. It's always,
absolutely,
there's always a stress that's associated because people are coming from your past, maybe, that haven't seen you in forever. You may have developed some different viewpoints since like
they also have like a preconceived idea of who you are.
That's a huge thing too. Yeah.
So it's hard to play a character when people know you already.
They're like, why is Barbara being so crass right now?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh.
Well, nobody would ask that question.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, there's Barbara being
there
crass
she is.
again. What else is new? But one of the things we got to do actually was we did an improv show at the end of our like 3 or 4 month block lessons. And we were telling people about it. And I was like, I almost don't want to tell anybody I know about the show because I just want strangers in the audience. I don't want my coworkers or friends or anybody.
Absolutely.
Like that.
Yeah.
So
I totally get that. I want to get into this next segment with you. It's called Fanning Out.
Questions from fans.
I reached out to people on the internet. I said, if you could ask Barbara Dunkelman any question or any scene suggestions, stuff like that, what would it be? And we got a ton of questions.
hell yeah.
And this is the first one that I'm going to ask you right now. This is just funny. This comes from Soy Cristiano. No question, but I woke up and saw this and thought, was I dreaming? I just like this. Somebody's like, yes, you're dreaming right now. Don't worry about it.
Welcome to your dream.
Hello.
Stay with us.
Please stay with us and keep watching the podcast. Hello. The eyes, the artificial eyes in movies, they have it. Whoa, you can do some crazy things with your eyes.
This one's my favorite.
Whoa.
Because people are like weirdly impressed by it, but you just cross your eyes and then move one.
Yeah. Okay, let me try it here. We're going to try to teach me how to do this. All right, so crossed eyes.
Cross and then stay crossed, but just move one out.
Am I doing it?
If you can. Well, you're getting there. Yeah, you're getting there. Oh, for sure. Yeah, just impress all your friends with that.
Okay,
now.
cool. Well, first, once I get my vision back, then I'll go down every...
Oh.
This one comes from, what's the one food you could never give up?
Bread.
Ray Axel Rose asks that. Bread.
bread. I
You
just
bread?
love
Are
like
you a chip person as well?
yeah.
Yep.
I like
Anytime somebody's
I like any
a-
carbs.
I know, right? I'm more of a salty than a sweet guy. Like
Same.
chips and salsa or chips and queso would be one of those that I could not give those up.
Chips and salsa is one of my favorite snacks of all time. But
Yeah.
yeah, like sandwiches and like breakfast meals, like it's all bread. I just love bread.
It's a good one. What's your favorite kind of bread?
I like whole wheat. I grew up eating whole wheat bread.
Okay.
So just like your standard whole wheat, nothing special.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
You know, just wheat.
Tell your mom about this podcast topic. All right. She'll get into it.
I think she's going to. All right. Like, don't get us started on 7 grains, folks. We're going to get wild here in a second. We're going to get real wild. Talking bread with Barbara Dunkelman on the show.
Wow, was that the Weeknd's new song?
Yeah, it was. It's called Bread or Alive. You're somebody who I appreciate. You do a lot of puns and stuff. What do you?
I do.
And I'm a pun guy. I know that some people cringe and stuff at puns, but I'll tell you what, they make me laugh more than a lot of things.
The cringing people do at puns just make it all that more sweet.
It
Like,
really
if you get
is.
a cringe.
Right.
It means it's a good pun.
Yeah.
So cringe away, my friends.
Cringe away and
Bring
pun for your money.
it. Pun for your life.
Exactly. Gaga. Wow, this comes from Nate. You so nasty. What? This is the collab we didn't know we needed. Thank you for saying that.
What?
This one comes from Samantha Bueno 91 on Twitter says, if you could travel back in time and hang out with yourself, where would you go and why?
Whoa.
That's a cool question, right?
I've never been asked a question like that before.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good
Usually
one.
it's like if you could go back in time and tell your younger self something.
Yeah, but to
what would
hang
you tell
out with
them?
like an era of time where you're maybe a
Mhm.
kid or a teenager, maybe you want to go back and play Mario Party with yourself. That'd be pretty dope.
Gosh, I feel like now that's an innuendo for something else completely.
That's the future you coming back. He's like, no, you do it like this.
Like this. It's going to take a little bit of practice, but you'll get it.
You're gonna get
and then you'll be done in 30 seconds.
really good at it someday.
Yeah, you could do it like on your way to work in your car and you'll be great.
Totally.
Let's see. I feel like, gosh, I had a lot to learn about how to do my hair and makeup and what to wear as a kid. Like, looking at pictures of me when I was like in middle school was really hard to see.
Do you have some rough middle school pictures?
Yeah, I was. It took me a long time to develop into a person that I felt looked okay. I had severe acne. I had braces. I was on like Accutane. It was so bad. Didn't know how to dress. Didn't know how to do. I did like the black eyeliner that all teenage girls do.
Yeah.
Back in the early 2000s.
Did you do safety pins or did you do fingerless gloves or did you do any Hot Topic stuff around that time?
I did some Hot Topic stuff. I wasn't like emo goth kid.
I was an
It was more of me
armband
trying to be.
guy.
Oh no!
Armband and the wristbands because you could get different patches and stuff. I freaking loved that stuff.
Yeah, I was like lowrider jeans and like velour tracksuit, kind of like what the hell am I thinking kind of kid.
Yeah,
just trying to look like I'm in with the trends.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a part of something. Like, don't make fun of me. Like, I'm with something. I'm with you guys right now.
I saw this in a Target ad. I'm wearing it now.
That was a weird time in women's fashion when it was the lowriders. Like, I mean, they're high waisted again, which is I think more of a 70s or 80s thing. Which
Yeah,
I think that
70s,
looks way better than like the low, like
1,000%.
hip bones hanging out.
We
almost
were
like,
edging on butt crack, like
yeah,
daily.
it's like what is going on? These teens need to just hike them up a little bit. This is awkward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really glad those went out of style because
Yeah.
I hated those pants.
Yeah, I'm sure they weren't. I remember sagging was real big for a while, you know,
Yeah.
for guys. And I remember one time I grew up a conservative family in Kansas. My grandma, I was sagging. She literally hugged me, and while her hands were around my back, she pulled up my pants. And it was just so like, I felt like I was being violated. I was like, what's happening right now? And then she was like whispered to me, she's like, you need a belt.
Oh,
Like-
well, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. It was a
But
weird.
that
It was a
was-
weird
that-
phase, but it was a very aggressive way to do it.
It's tough love.
It's tough love. Sometimes you got to do that.
And you never had your pants sag around her again, I'm sure, because you wouldn't want her pulling your pants up anymore. You learn your lesson.
I really did. I never sagged again from that day forward. I was like, the ghost of that just haunts my past.
The way you say that makes it sound like it's some type of like you're doing drugs or something. I never sagged again after that, guys.
You know, I'm that straight edge that sagging was like a big crossroads in my life. So like, it's like hard for me. I had to do a 12-step program to get off sagging. Yeah.
They made me take away all my wristbands. It was really, really dark.
I mean,
time
it was
in
just
my
real.
life.
It's real tough, you know. It's just one of those things.
Fuck.
This will be a hard question, but I'm going to see if you can answer it. What is the best pun you've ever made, or what is the best reaction to a pun you've made?
Oh man. Probably one of my favorites, just spur of the moment. We were talking about the company Enron. And Bernie Burns, who was on the podcast at the time, was talking about the company and how like they went through some really hard times, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, did something go wrong? And just, I was proud of myself back then. That was like 2012, I think.
Well, it's also,
so
it's somebody with the company, so it makes it not only just a casual joke, but an epic roast and burn on top of that. Because you're like, you were there. You were part of it. So,
yeah.
All right. I applaud you on that one. That's good.
Thank you. One that I always come back, though, because oftentimes when I go to conventions or do any like public appearances, people know me for my puns. It's like something that people enjoy, which is really cool. But people were like, oh, like tell me a pun, or like write a pun in my autograph book, or whatever it is. And my go-to one is, I need glasses to do math because it helps with division.
I get it.
It's like so dumb, but just so easy.
Oh, snap. I get it. I see you, girl. Division.
Shit.
It's happening.
Division.
Division. This one comes from Asian Ameri. Says that you mentioned taking something the night after drinking and before sleeping to prevent a hangover. What was it again? I forgot and I could use it.
I'm pretty sure when I've talked about this before, I said just chug a whole glass of water and take 2 Advil and you'll be fine.
Oh, like as a cautious thing going into it. Yeah.
Anytime I drink, no matter how much I've had to drink, you just have water in between like every 2 or 3 and then take Advil before you go to bed and you'll be fine. I've never had a hangover.
Oh, well, I think most people don't have the foresight to drink a whole glass of water between, like if you're in that zone and you're drinking and stuff like that, it's like, you know what I could go for between this Miller Lite? A cold glass of ice water.
Listen, man, if you remember, it'll change your life. You just get into the habit.
Oh, I'm sure it works. It's like, but it's just
fuck that.
but it's just restructuring everybody's minds. Like, why would I do that? That's like being at a Super Bowl party and just Coca-Colas or root beers and stuff like that and be like cutting it with water, like in between the Doritos and stuff like that. You're like, this tastes horrible.
I'm trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna
have
a diet.
A celery and a water real quick between this. This is a nice question / comment from Michelle.
I'll determine that.
Michelle Stammer. It's pretty nice. Hey, how the frick are you so pretty? But real question, what is your favorite thing / goal you have accomplished?
Oh, well, thank you, Michelle. That's so sweet. I guess I just throw a lot of makeup onto my face, so just do that. No, I'm just kidding. Thing I have accomplished. My goodness. Starting my podcast Always Open, I think, was a big accomplishment for me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I have been a fan of Rooster Teeth and have been following them since I was 15. So to get to be at the company, but also to develop my own show for the company, the first also like female-driven show that the company's ever done, that was really big for me. And it was really cool to get to do that show and to just have a platform to talk about things that were important to me for a long time. But gosh, I think also being in Ruby has been like really life-changing.
That's awesome.
Getting to be part of an anime and just like an animated show that so many people are affected by and that just like find joy in. So getting to do those 2 things I think have been my top
Yeah.
so far.
I love doing anytime I get a chance to record voiceover stuff. It's always like it's just so fun. Like and to see it come to life, I'm sure, especially a show like that, like there's so many episodes and stuff, you're like, and it looks so good. When you start out doing projects like for friends and stuff, it's like just the littlest thing makes you so excited. You're, oh my, I can't believe I'm animated right now.
Yeah, well, look at that character walk.
Yeah, that's so crazy. And then like with Ruby, it's just like, the craziness is anyway, that it's cool to see the evolution of that happen with stuff. Like I've done a couple of projects where I'm just like, this is just a cool moment for me as somebody who's a fan of animation and cartoons and stuff like that and anime.
Same.
I grew up watching shows like Pokemon and stuff. I was one of those who had the Game Boy games and the red, the blue, the gold, the Pikachu version, all that stuff.
Of course.
And so like that's got to be cool for you as a fan of video games and stuff to like see that style and be like, I'm a part of this and people love it.
Oh, yeah. I never in a million years thought I would be a voice actress for anything. Me and my brothers grew up just like making silly voices at everything, like making sound effects for everything, and just like imitating cartoons that we would hear.
That's how I started too, mimicking cartoons. I think that's how you kind of,
you kind of just copy and then you learn like what your range is that way. So it's really cool. But I think like the moment it really hit me was that at a convention one time, I met this very young girl. She must have been like 5 or 6. And she had like a plushie of my character. And I was like, this is insane to me because I grew up watching cartoons and like, for example, Sailor Moon. And I'm like,
my sister loves Sailor Moon. Yeah.
So good. And it's like, this is my cartoon character, like Sailor Moon. But like now I'm someone else's cartoon character. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's a real full circle, like, wow moment. Like, this is where I'm at now. That's what's cool. You end up like following and pursuing dreams and stuff like that. Or sometimes it just kind of happens. You're just doing marketing and all of a sudden things work out. And then you're like, this is what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah. It's I think my advice for anybody would just like say yes to opportunities, even if it scares you.
Oh yeah.
That's
a big, that goes back to like just the improv mentality, just kind of going with it and rolling with the punches and being like, yeah, I'm open to that. Like I've had a lot of interesting doors open just because I'm like, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Like one of the gigs that I did was for a buddy, for a Comedy Central show. They said, hey, this is a weird role on this show. But it's for a few days shoot. You're going to be in a dog suit. So people won't see.
So you into it?
People, yeah, exactly. So people, it's going to be a rough day. Hello. So I was
waiting for it.
Exactly. I was like, the queen of the pun. She's waiting for it. They're like, you're not going to get your face seen, and you're not going to have your voice. I'm like, well, I have the opportunity to, audition for the voice of the dog. They're like, realistically, no. They're just like good friends of mine. So they're like, it'd be more like, we need you for the day. We'd love to have you. And I'm like, I'm a team player. I'd love to do it. Because I did that gig, that one gig that was like a SAG gig for the day, that was the gig right before the pandemic that allowed me months of unemployment. Because as a stand-up, I'm an independent contractor. With the comedy clubs and stuff, I'm a 1099 employee. Right. But with working that as a W-2 job, it made everything literally months and months, because I was like, I don't have an ego, man. I want to have fun with you guys, and I want to support, and I appreciate you thinking of me, and I did it. And that was like one of the most recent blessings where I was like, this is crazy. Like if I would have said no, I would have been kicking myself like so hard. Just for me to be like, no, my face is not, I'm not going to be like, no. But I'm like, no, it'll be fun. Let's do it.
It's also like saying yes to opportunities that like make you anxious or nervous. Like that has almost kept me from saying yes to a lot of things. Even something like doing a podcast where it's like,
of course.
Oh, like we've never met before. And like, I don't know if like, what's our banter going to be like? I'm anxious about this, blah, 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 blah. And then just like, what could go wrong? Like you could do it. It's going to happen. You'll be fine. And then on to the next thing. But you never know like what is going to open the door for you.
Yeah, it's cool. Well, I want to close out with, there's a bunch of more questions, but obviously we can keep doing that forever. I want to close out with the final segment. It's called Sax Talk.
Oh.
Sax Talk. All right. So I prepped Barbara beginning of the show before we started. She's going to share a story of a sexual encounter. It doesn't matter how graphic or innocent it is. It's up to her. But I'm going to follow you along, Barbara, with some sax. Whenever you are ready, I will start playing along with you.
All right. So this is after I was newly single a couple years ago, after a 3-year long relationship. And I decided that I wanted to go out on the town and meet a boy. And so I went downtown. Got drunk immediately and started grinding with this guy on the dance floor, who my only criteria was that he was taller than me. And I went home with him immediately to have sex with him. Which I wouldn't recommend for anybody because stranger danger. You never know if someone's safe or not. So maybe don't copy what I'm doing. But the problem is that this gentleman lived in like a mother-in-law suite in the back of his house that had no bathroom. So naturally, after a night of drinking and then sex, you have to pee a couple times during the night. So I left his mother-in-law suite to go into his house to try to find a bathroom, but I couldn't find the door because it was so dark. So what I did was I just popped a squat in his backyard and pissed in his lawn. But the worst part of the story is that there was no toilet paper or anything like that, so I grabbed one of his shirts that I saw lying on his floor to wipe up my piss. And then I called an Uber, and I went home.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's sexy.
That was straight up sexy, y'all.
I was like, when do I break for the sex?
Oh, no, that's always the question. Like, the guests like look at me like, are you coming in now? Or like, when are you coming in?
Should I keep going?
Should I keep going? This is interesting. That is what, but you know what? The fact that you wiped up, even that says a lot about your character. You know what I mean? You went out of the way,
Yeah.
even though it was his t-shirt, you still wanted to make sure that you didn't leave a mess. So that's commendable.
I made sure I put it in his laundry pile after. So who, none the wiser.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
You're set.
Also, he was kind of a dick, so I'm not that mad.
Oh, at least, was it a graphic tee? Do you remember what kind of t-shirt it was?
It was a graphic
Was
tee.
it? Yes. Do you remember what kind of graphic tee it was?
No, but I remember it was blue. That's all I remember. So if I ever see that t-shirt out in the wild, I'll know. I'll know it was me.
Is this
Pissed all over
a
it.
Golden Grams t-shirt from Target? What is this? Why did I use that? Golden Shower Grams. That's crazy.
Golden shower, yeah.
Yes,
Beat me to it.
yes.
We did it.
Shit. Gotta cover up my webcam.
Well, Barbara, thank you so much for doing this podcast today. And yeah, it took a little while for us to kind of make this happen, but I appreciate you getting back to me. And, you know,
Of course.
and us collaborating. You know, we didn't know each other before this, but I had a lot of fun with you. And I hope that we get to record some other stuff in the future.
Yeah, we should get you on some Rooster Teeth stuff someday.
I'd be down. I'm around. I mean, I got nothing but time right
We're
now.
all around.
Well, pandemic. Here we go.
I know where to find you.
Is there anything you want to plug or anything before we go?
Sure, yeah. You could follow me on all social media accounts at @BDunkelman. That's BDUNKELMAN. Or just head on over to roosterteeth.com to check out our shows and podcasts over there.
I love it. Check it out, guys. Thanks so much for doing the pod.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bye.
Jeremiah